try this tablet out, and I haven't done an impromptu live stream for a little while. So if you're out there, let me know that you can hear me because it's a new setup. I'm just trying it out on my in my backyard. Spring is here, and I got a 5K run coming up in a few weeks, and I feel like I'm ready for that. Although I went through this really bad. I had an infection. It was followed by allergy season, and then all the smoke from the forest fires started blowing through, and it just really just took me off my running plan. So I ended up dropping from the 10K to the 5K for Canada Day because I just don't feel like straining myself. And I still go out and have fun and just do the 5K. So it'll be a fun zero pressure thing. I still hope to do the half marathon in October. As far as my heart, I've had virtually no symptoms. I stopped my supplements for 4 or 5 days just to give my body a break from all supplements. So I stopped the arginine and the taurine. And around day 4, they started to creep back a little bit. Now, I do still get a little palpitations in the evening, but it's nothing like it was. And they don't bother me, they don't keep me awake. My weight's been stable. I've been trying to lose, but not wholeheartedly, I'll say, and I haven't been gaining weight. I've been stable and training. Started weightlifting again. I took a little break from that because I had hurt my shoulder in here. There was some kind of huge knot and tear in there, and I ended up getting 4 or 5 sessions of physiotherapy on it before I felt like I could lift weights. And I'm just at the point where I can just use the machines. I'm not going back to free weights yet. I did that a few weeks ago. I used the free weights and I did a heavy bench session, and I really paid for it. My shoulder, I just really set back all my progress. So um, not much value in doing that. But the supplements. They still work, just do the job for me for my palpitations. And if I go off the supplements, sure enough, after a few days they came back. So the taurine and the arginine is good stuff for me, at least. And the nice thing is they're inexpensive, and I don't have any side effects from them. I've been doing this new thing with my diet, and it's kind of made it effortless. I haven't been very good about logging all my calories for people who are on MyFitnessPal with me. I'm sorry. It's just life's just been so incredibly busy with work and that, so I haven't been like logging my calories. I try to do it, and I end up doing it for a couple of days, and then I just get slammed, and I just have like literally no time, and I'm just running from the time I wake up until I go to bed, and then I'm like, oh, geez, I didn't even do my calories today. It's just annoying. But I've been doing this thing where I just eat like kind of lean proteins, and in the morning I do this massive green drink every morning, and I really feel good. It makes me feel good. I throw in like salad and cucumber and my green acai tea, superfood powder, and um, have hemp protein powder I throw in there, so it's like really green and thick. And then I throw in my creatine and my glutamine and my other training supplements. It all just goes in there, and I just get it first thing in the morning, and I'll usually blend up an avocado with it, and that's about 450 calories, and it's just like 100% pure nutrition. And I just start my day with that every morning, and I just feel so much better doing that. It's been really good on my digestion, helping my digestion, and quite often lunch comes, I'm not hungry. I feel full right through to lunch, and it makes me just want to eat better the whole rest of the day. Like tonight, I had a grass-fed steak for dinner and another green drink instead of I had all this salad, and it was a little bit wilty, and it didn't look too attractive to just eat. But I was like, oh, I want the nutrition out of it, so I just blend it up. So I made the green drink again to go with my grass-fed steak for dinner. So I've been thinking more and more that the closer I get to eliminating all processed food from my diet, the happier I seem to feel, the happier my digestion system becomes. And one of my main staples has been in the past yogurt and cottage cheese, but I've had to give up cottage cheese. I gave it one more try, and it ends up just sort of slowing things down too much. So I just stopped cottage cheese altogether, pretty much for good. And I've been using yogurt, and I don't know, I just think I maybe because yogurt's about the only thing I have for snack at night. Maybe I'm having too much yogurt with blueberries. I'm still eating about a pint to 2 pints of blueberries a day. I just love those things, and high in antioxidants. That book I read, and I did a poorly edited, I meant book review on that book, Controlling Your High Blood Pressure Through, Nutrition, Medicine, Exercise, Lifestyle. It's on my website. If you go look at bignorthernbear.com or tickertalks.ca, you'll see it there. It's just been the best book for helping me just really set my mind on my own nutritional approach. I mean, there's just so many studies cited in that book, and I just found it immensely helpful and immensely gratifying to read it because it just kind of confirmed a lot of what I was doing was the right choice. As if, I'm at like something like one AFib episode in 1,040 days now. So, that's other confirmation that the way I'm eating has been good for my heart. And, I'm just keeping things going. I have some stuff coming for the channel soon. I've been lining up more and more guests. I've got a Father Day special that's going to go live Saturday night. The guy's coming on. He's it's aimed at fathers, this one, so a little bit off topic, but bear with us. Fathers, they need their weekend, so we're going to give a show for fathers, and so he's a coach for people over 40. He's well published. Hey, how's it going, Said? I see you in the chat. So he's a coach for fitness over 40 people, and that's his focus. He's got a podcast. He's on like 570 episodes now, and so we're going to have him on the show, and I'll reveal his name soon. And but that's going to be Saturday night around 8 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in for that. I have an amazing guest coming on the weekend of the 24th. I have not just a cardiologist, and he's not just an electrophysiologist, but he's an electrophysiologist who teaches other electrophysiologists how to read ECGs. So he's going to come on the show and clear up all the mystery around ECG, EKGs, and we're going to talk about some of the challenges of trying to capture a good rhythm monitoring on us AFib, paroxysmal atrial fibrillation people, and he's going to give some insights on treating AFib. And so that's going to be an exciting show. Again, I'll reveal his name when I actually schedule the show and put the link on YouTube. But he's going to go live. And if you go on YouTube and you're looking to learn about EKGs, you've actually probably seen his videos. So I'm excited to have him on. I have another young lady who's had heart problems and a young gentleman who've had heart problems, and they'll be coming on in the next month. So I'm just suddenly have no shortage of guests. I have two other doctors that might be coming on. And so there's going to be lots of good conversations coming up over in the next 6 months. I've got some international travel planned, and I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but given my AFib, I mean, that's when you see where I'm going, you'll realize how comfortable I am about traveling now, despite having AFib. So I look forward to shooting off some videos while I'm traveling. I might do a couple of live streams while traveling, and I'll definitely have some recorded stuff. And so, anyway, I have kind of an interesting show planned while I'm traveling. So I look forward to having you join me for that this summer. And and I just was Big Set and I were talking just today, and we're gonna get together, and he's gonna give his 6 month update, and also Cayman Dave. I talk to him every day almost. I mean, we work together, and so he's doing well after his ablation. And Karima came on and she talked about her SVT ablation, and that was an interesting show. And I mean, we went on for quite a while. So I have a clip coming out soon, 10-minute clip, where she just talks about her ablation day because I know people are always really interested in the ablation day. So that'll be on the channel next week. And it's we've had Terry Tucker on, cancer, still battling cancer. I've been talking to Terry. He just did another week of hard treatment, and he's just come out of it. So he'll likely be making the rounds on social media somewhere. So recommend you follow Terry, and his book is just absolutely incredible. I mean, if you just need a shot of motivation, if you're the type of person who just needs, who just thrives on motivational books, I mean, this is truly one of the best ones. So his book, um, it's just, I mean, his book is, I I will understate it no matter how I describe it, but it's extremely positive and ex extremely filled with the kind of message that we need in the world today. So, and I'm really glad Terry came on the show. And Terry, if you're listening, we'd love to have you back again sometime. And I I'm sort of thinking way ahead now of planning a Christmas special where we'll try to get, multiple people who have been on the show to come on one big Christmas collab, and we'll see if we can arrange that for Christmas. So lots of fun in store, and just just having a good time and living your life with AFib, getting your exercise, eating your decent meals, occasionally having something that's bad for you, and just living your life a little bit and blogging about it. I've got some research I'll be covering soon, and I'm going to continue with the live streams. Although I think I might, for some of the guests, I might go to more of a recorded thing because I find I've been having like technical problems with the live stream. Some guests have trouble with the audio or connecting to the studio. So there's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes on a live stream that you don't get to see, but it's as my life gets busier and busier, it's kind of something that I just have a little less patience to deal with, to be honest. So I've been doing some thinking about, my best live shows and my most interactive live shows are have been with Steve from the AFib Patient Experience, Big Said, and then just me by myself. And those are like, so that's a lesson to me that maybe that's what people enjoy, and maybe trying to get every guest to be on a live stream is just not worth the effort when I can just do a pre-recorded show. We can edit out anything that was ugly or any echoes or anything like that, and just put out a really nice video that can also double as the audio podcast for people who like to listen when they're driving in the car. Let me see if I can figure out how to bring chat up on the screen here. First day driving the new tablet. There it is. How do I reply in chat now? Let's see. I'm, t- I'm not quite sure how to reply in chat. I'm on an iPad, so if someone knows the trick how to reply to the chat while live streaming, just let me know because I'm not quite sure, to be honest. So, I mean, it's not even my iPad. It's the wife. She wasn't using it, so she let me use it for a while to see if I like it. And so far, it really fits well with my job, just to have it on the desk. It's like a mini dashboard of my stuff that I need to do, like a little to-do list on the side and playing my music while my main screens I'm actually doing my job. And it's just actually just been the perfect addition to my workspace. So that's kind of cool. But again, big plans for the channel, lots of guests lined up. I almost have um 3 months ago I was starving to find people, but I got into a network of people who are like interested in sharing their stories, and so I've been able to find source out more guests for the show because I know some people enjoy the long conversation. Some people just want a short video about their AFib. That's okay. I'm continuing to do all kinds of content. A lot of it depends on my mood that week. Sometimes I just feel like coming on live and talking to the camera and doing an update. And sometimes I feel like researching something and putting a whole video together on it because I think it's going to benefit, you know, me with AFib and other people with AFib or similar heart rhythm disturbances that can be modified by lifestyle. And there's actually, a lot of heart rhythm, heart problems that you can treat by lifestyle and you can prevent. And you're the Joe Rogan of AFib. Thanks, man. That's great. Can I keep my hair though? Do I have to go bald? Because I'm really proud of still having my hair. Because if you've seen my brother, he looks more like Joe Rogan than me. So thanks, much appreciate that, hamster. Yeah, I enjoy the conversations. I just like talking to people. I like hearing their stories. Whenever I meet someone before the live show, and I always insist on meeting with them first now, and we just have a 20-minute conversation about what we're going to talk about. I'm constantly interrupting. Oh, don't tell me, save it for the live stream. Oh, don't tell me, save it for the live stream because I like my genuine reaction to some of the stuff they're telling me. And like when Karima was explaining, how her her leaking surgical implants actually started leading to a heart condition. I was like, "Oh no, save it! I want it." My genuine reaction when we actually do the show. So, um, and I'm trying. I'm making an effort to bring more lady guests on. I know I've had a lot of gentlemen guests, but I feel like you ladies, I'm letting you down a bit because it's been very guy heavy, and maybe you're good with that. Maybe that's why you watch, but I'm I am inviting lady guests too. They they seem a little less eager to come on a show than gentlemen are. That's just the way it is. But it's not for lack of trying. So, and I think I have a nutritionist from Texas coming on soon, and she focuses on customizing diets to treat medical conditions, and she might have some interesting stuff to say. So oh my God, I know I've been quiet, I haven't been on Facebook a lot, but there's actually so much work going on, and I am a one-man guy, and I have a very busy day job. Plus, I'm trying to weight train and run and spend some time with my family. So, sorry I'm not on Facebook so much and chatting. I do every direct message from every channel. I still try to reply to everyone. I'm a little slower getting back to people. I still answer every single comment. It just takes a little longer to get back to people. I'm doing things in batches now, right? So I'll go to Facebook once a day, do everything on Facebook, reply to everyone, allow people to join the groups that want to join the groups, and then maybe later in the day, I'll just go answer all the YouTube comments. So I've had to just batch things up. And so it takes a little longer, but I'm still committed to replying to everyone. And I love all the people that continue to share their stories and their own challenges with AFib. I had a fellow telling me today about how he started walking and how well it's working out for him, and now he's off his beta blocker, and that's great. So I just love hearing those kind of stories. Keep them coming. They're fantastic. I like interacting with everyone. I know it's a spur of the moment live stream. You don't get a lot of people on those, but that's okay. Um, it's just for fun, and I'm really grateful to all you guys. You guys and ladies, you all give me motivation just to keep at it and to keep trying. And you've made it fun. The channel obviously hit the 1,000 mark, and I've been able to monetize it. I've had people ask how they can support the channel. There's obviously some expense involved for what I do. So I've turned on everything but the community because I really don't know about that whole community thing. I feel like the message I want to put out, I don't want to do videos behind a paywall. I just want every video accessible to everyone, and I never just charge for information. That defeats the whole point of why I started this channel. But if someone buys a T-shirt or goes to my website and buys a supplement and something they were going to buy anyway, why not why not get it there and help the channel? That's my thinking. So I'm trying I'm trying not to be a greedy bugger, but I'm trying to just give people a way to support. Like if you buy the sponsor T-shirt, I'd rather someone like buy a sponsor T-shirt and get a T-shirt and sponsor an episode that way than throw money in a tip jar like you see on YouTube and sponsor an episode that way. Because that way you get a T-shirt and the T-shirt has a positive message on it, and now you spread karma through the world through your T-shirt. So I think that's a far better way to go. And so said Hamster House, thanks for checking in. I'm going to wrap it up now. I just want to check in with you all and just tell you about so much activity planned, and it's taken longer to get to it right now. Work's extremely busy. I'm probably going to be producing just a little slower over the next couple of months, and then I think around September things are really going to settle down. I can do another big run of videos just like I did last year, and I, I really enjoy it. I'm certainly getting much faster at editing, which has helped. And I have new artificial intelligence tools that help me edit. So, for example, I can sit now and I can put a teleprompter on my screen, and it has a script, and I can just pause and retake things, and then at the end I get this huge hour and 10-minute video, let's say, and I can just literally throw it in my editor, and I can say, okay, remove all the dead spots, and it will literally go through and chop out all the dead spots for me. Well, that saves me, believe it or not, that's on an hour long video, that represented 2 to 3 hours of work. because you essentially have to watch a 1 hour video 2 or 3 times in order to chop out like the mistakes and the duplicate text. So thanks to AI in DaVinci Resolve, I have the studio version, worth every penny. Thanks to that, I can throw it in DaVinci Resolve. I can say, hey, AI, run the transcript. So the first thing it does is listen to the whole track, takes the whole voice, turns it into a text file that I can look at. I can go through the text file and I can see where I did a double take, triple take, because I've said the same thing 2 or 3 times in a row. I just pick the first 1 or 2 of those and say delete, and it chops it out of the video for me just from editing the text. And then at the end, I say, okay, now remove all the dead space, and it removes any pause where I paused for more than a second. It just chops that out, and then I just select the whole track and put a nice transition, and it's almost seamless, and it's only taken me like 10 minutes. And then if I want, and I've been playing with it, I can actually say, okay, create me a subtitle track, and the same AI will lay me a whole subtitle track. And some videos on my Ticker Talks podcast, I've actually been what they call baking in the subtitles, because at Ticker Talk, the audio podcast, there's not I'm not on the camera, so why not have the text there for the YouTube version of that and just some B-roll playing. So actually AI actually wrote those subtitles, and then I just quickly skip through and spell check it, because sometimes it mistakes what I said, because I have a really funny way of talking. Sometimes I even screw up the AI the way I talk with my Northern Ontario accent. um, so it'll go through that. Now, I just saw someone asking about the Zoplicone. It's really funny. I actually just reached out today to a retired doctor in Toronto, and I hope she comes on the channel. And she's a specialist. Now that she's retired, she's like, I just want to help people get natural sleep. And I'm like, oh, I want you on the channel. So I contacted her. I haven't heard back yet. But no, I like work has been so busy, and I'm just feel like I'm just barely keeping up with things. So I'm not risking. I just can't risk a poor night's sleep right now. So I'm just even on my dose, and I'm gonna do my summer traveling, and I'm just gonna. I think I might just do a cold turkey and just get off the stuff then. So I just can't tackle it right now. I mean, we can only tackle so many health issues in our life, uh, Marco. So I appreciate the question, and I think you were interested in coming on and just talking about this terrible drug with me, and I would love to do a recorded session with you, or we can go live and talk about it. And I forget the other fellow's name. He hasn't responded, but there's no reason you and I couldn't get on and chew the fat a bit about the challenges of that Zoplicone has brought into her life. I mean, it's one of those things that just it solves a problem today, and like down the road you're going to pay a price. And the longer you're on it, the more you're able to deceive yourself that I can just stay on this. But down the road you're going to pay a price. And I feel that way about Zoplicone. I know at some point I'm going to pay the price, because right now I'm really symptom free. It doesn't doesn't seem it just seems like the perfect thing, because I just take it and I sleep. But I know, given the type of drug it is, the first clue is that I can't sleep without it. I can't get off it. That's the first clue that it's doing me damage that I'm going to run into down the road. I can't get off it. If something's not damaging you, you can stop using it. Okay. And the second clue is it's not a benzo, but it's benzo adjacent. So, I mean, it's legendary, all the problems those things can bring into your life. So, yeah, I definitely want to get off it. And Marco, happy to discuss it online with you. And if you're not comfortable with that, we can do an audio only version for the audio podcast. Or if you're just totally into it, with a little live stream, and just however you want to do it, just reach out and let me know. I think you know how to get a hold of me. But anyone who ever wants to email me, you can just email me at bignorthernbear@gmail.com, and I'll answer. Yeah, great. That'd be fantastic. Be happy with this. It's impossible. I'm in the same position as you. I think the chap's name you're referring to is Sam. Yeah, well, let's start making it happen. And if Sam comes on, and then we'll just add him into the mix. But just shoot me an email, bignorthernbear@gmail.com. Marco, let's make it happen, okay, man? And Yeah, we'll just go with that. So, I really appreciate that. I like have so many people watching, interacting on a live stream that I didn't even plan to have. So that's great. I don't have a lot more to say right now, and I just really appreciate the feedback and the energy I get whenever I do a live stream. I get this energy from the audience, whether maybe it's a smaller group like tonight, or sometimes I have like, 30, 40 people, but I get the same energy back because I feel like we share a common experience and common challenges in this life, no matter, we might be in different countries, living under different political systems, living in different economic circumstances, but we have this thing in common, and that's really the thing that binds us together as human beings. I mean, it's the thing that really brings it's there was a line in a Spanish song that I used to love by Shakira called Antologia, and and when I learned that this one verse, and she sang this where she said, um, the Spanish word, it literally sounds like the English word equivalency, but she's saying, I love you despite your equivalencies. But what it actually means is that your flaws are what bring you down to be equal with everyone else. It's your flaws. So they call that your equivalencies. And I thought that's a much more beautiful way to describe that. So it's our flaws and our challenges that make us human and that make it so we connect to other people. And just while I'm on it and while I'm just free form talking, that's one reason people can't relate to most of the movies anymore because they don't seem like real humans with real challenges. They don't seem to have the kind of challenges that you face in your life, or they certainly don't seem to have the kind of challenges I face in my life. I mean, if you even look at the comic book movies, one of the reasons why the current round of Spider-Man is so popular is because they maintain the formula from the comics where the problem that Peter Parker has, his problems are the girlfriend at school, paying the bills, living with his step parents, like they're human normal problems, and that's what makes Peter Parker so relatable. That's what makes a lot of people on YouTube relatable. That's what makes me feel related to my audience is when they share their challenges with me, like Marco with his Zoplicone uh, dependency that we share, and that's usually when go in a movie and you really feel connected to the characters. It's because of the challenges they faced. It's not the stuff they do well. That's great, but really, if they do well, it's even better if they've had to overcome life challenges and do well despite that. I mean, Terry and I talked about Rocky and the Rocky movie, and why Rocky 1 was such a great movie. I mean, if you remember at the end of Rocky 1, he lost the fight to Apollo. He didn't win. He had to have a whole sequel training to actually beat Apollo and win. The reason we love Rocky so much is because in Rocky 1 he was so flawed and and really had to climb up, and he's out there training in crappy running shoes and a crappy tracksuit and just having like raw eggs for breakfast because he just has a job and he's got to go train and he just doesn't have time for stopping by the Starbucks for some sort of healthy burrito, right? And I mean, he had to go punch meat in the butcher shop, to sort of toughen up his hands. He just used what was available and overcame, and then he didn't win, but he put on such a fight that at the end of the movie, everyone realized this nobody who was too old to even start boxing was actually a contender. And that's what made Rocky great because he didn't win. He was great without win. Rocky shot for the stars and he landed on the moon, but he aimed for the stars. So again, it's our flaws, our equivalencies that make us all relate to each other. So own your AFib. Just own it. I mean, there's worse things to have, although it doesn't feel that way sometimes. But just own it because everyone's going to get something. So it's just part of being human, man. It's just part of being mortal. It's just part of life, you know. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in and listening to my rattling on and randomly chatting. Um, and I all the channel plans I shared, I look forward to producing it and getting those out and sharing them with you and getting your feedback. So, and if you haven't yet, I guess I'll plug, you can join the Facebook groups Living Your Life with Atrial Fibrillation or Training and Exercise with Atrial Fibrillation. I find that Facebook as a whole is a dying platform. I don't find people interact nearly as much on Facebook as in like 10 years ago, man. 10 years ago, Facebook groups were hopping and they were fun. I don't find it's like that anymore, which is partly why I haven't been spending as much time on Facebook, although I do try to post my content there and answer questions, but I just don't feel like I have the motivation to keep sort of putting stuff on that gets literally no reaction, where if I throw it in my community tab or just talk about it in a video, people respond and I get the feedback. So maybe it's partly how I'm driven. Thanks, Marco, and thanks, Hamster, for that. It's great. So anyway, I'm rambling again. Check out the website, tickertalks.ca or bignorthernbear.com. They both point to the website, same website. Check out the podcast. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and about 20 others. You can find them all on my website. But if you like the podcast and you listen to it now and then, I really need some people just to drop a rating and a review on the podcast on those platforms. That would really help me out, and I'd much appreciate it. And if you think you would be a good guest, if you have a story about your equivalencies and you'd like to chat about it with me, like Marco is going to, we would love to have you on the channel and just talk about it, because I really think that's what people enjoy the most, is just hearing other people with a similar life challenge and just getting into it and talking about it and just airing it out. So, anyone, it's Father's Day. Saturday night's a Father's Day live stream. So tune in for that. Otherwise, I wish you all the best and we'll see you soon. This is your friend, Big Northern Bear, out. Now, I'm not quite sure how to end this. Oh, there it is.